And welcome to a Fiberific live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. It's an unusual day today. I'm running a little bit late, doubly late, if that makes sense. We had to change the time of our live stream just because the mum's taxiing at school holidays and my daughter had managed to pick up some extra shifts at work and didn't tell me that it was in the middle of the live stream. So she got dropped off to work like over an hour early so that we could still have 1 hour together. And then when I was setting everything up, it was a little glitchy is probably the best way. So I had to reboot everything and try again. So hopefully everything is working for you and everything looks good and you can hear and you can see and all of that kind of good stuff. Because I definitely didn't want to, just go, oh, well, let's not live stream because we didn't live stream last week. So I can't have 2 weeks off, you guys. It doesn't work for me. So you guys were in the chat early today. Let me just check to see how much chatting. There was so much chatting going on. So much chatting. Just seeing if there's anything. So hello to everybody who has joined in. Welcome to the chat. Hello, Teresa. Welcome to the chat. Hello, Freaky. How are you? We've got Leanne in the house, is one of our mods. We've also got, do we have any other mods? I can't tell. I can't see. So, if there's any other mods, say hi. Lisa, welcome to the chat. Everyone, I'm hoping everyone is well as well. Sue Ellen says, I love glitchy computer issues abound this week at work. Yeah, it's been a bit of a thing. So news. Now, some of you are already aware this space is going. I'm not going to have it. So I will be moving my studio into the spare bedroom in our house, which was my craft room, which over the last week or so has become not my craft room. It's nearly finished not being my craft room. There's still some stuff in there I've got to get out. Not much stuff though. And this space is half empty now as well. So it feels so echoey. I'm really glad I've got my sound blankets still. I nearly pulled them down the other day. I was kind of hoping that I would have this set up in the new space for today's live stream, but it didn't happen. So I had to quickly put a couple of things back up, which is why everything was not quite right. Now, Kathy said, so no colorful background. Yes, it's coming with me. So I will remove it from here and stick it into the new place. Things will have to change up a bit. I don't have as much space, so I'll have to have a play with it. And you know what? I love playing with the background, so I'm okay with that. But we're going to have a few weeks where I'm like, oh, I wasn't totally happy with that. So we're going to move some things. But yeah, so we're going to be having a little bit different. It will definitely we'll definitely still have the colorful background and a little bit of this background, and I think the bookshelf, although what's on it will change. Not the couch. No couch. There's no room for the couch. So, which I will miss because when I'm not live streaming, that's where I sit to do a lot of my paperwork. So I will miss the couch. You guys probably won't miss it quite so much. Also, no air conditioning. So that will be fun as well. The big advantage is that right now I have to bring Louis in. He's here. Louis is with us on the couch. Let's just pop this down. So Louis is in because if I don't bring him into the shack for live streams, he just sits in the house barking because he knows I'm out here and he's like, hey, come play with me. Whereas in the house, he'll just be able to walk around. So he may not sit in the background quite as much. So yeah. It's Sally's here. Awesome. Good morning, Sally. Francis says, good morning, not late for me as we are back on the same time zone. That's right. In Australia, the East Coast have all lined back up again as of, what was it, Sunday? Last Sunday? I don't know. Or last Saturday night? I don't know. But yes, we are back on that time zone, but we're only going to be streaming for an hour or so today. So yeah, not the full 2 hours. And then next week, Abby has let me know she has scored a slightly different shift next time. So I have to double check, but I think I have to double check, but there'll be some finagling around to make it so I can drop her off at work and get back for live stream as well. So keep an eye on the times and stuff, and I'll try and keep as informed as much. I have no idea. She's supposed to put it in the calendar, and it's not in the calendar. Knitspin Girl says, I live in Lismore, that town that went underwater. I live up high, so I'm fine, but my internet was down for 4 weeks. Oh my gosh, 4 weeks. Oh, I don't know how I'd cope with no internet for 4 weeks, honestly. Oh, awesome, John. Well, I mean, life before live stream, absolutely every time. And I am totally cool with that. Freaky says, I just put turmeric into my tea. Let's hope that was a smart move. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I can't imagine it would taste great. Obviously, it would depend on amounts and kinds of tea and what have you. So, yeah. And the answer is that's a hard no. That's a hard no from me. No 6-hour live streams. One thing I wanted to say was, and I may have said it last time. Actually, no, we didn't stream last week. So, after our last live stream here, the next day I had my very first live stream over on my new channel, which is teaching people how to live stream. So it's different to here. And some of you jumped over to keep me company over there. And I just want to say a huge, huge thank you. The live streams over there are going to run a little differently than here. As in, I will usually have a guest. So I will be interacting with the guest and not interacting with the chat quite as much. So I just wanted to make sure none of you felt slighted or not that I was was missing you intentionally. It was just, it's a bit different. I'm going to run it on a different format to what we run here. Freaky was over there, and it was so good to see Freaky. And it was so much fun. And I actually have another one tomorrow. So they're not every week yet. I'm hoping that they will become every week, but they're for just 1 hour. But they're not every week yet. It looks like I am frozen. Am I really frozen? I don't know. Weird. I did not run a speed test this morning. That was silly. Just double checking some things. We'll see how that all goes. Excuse me. Freaky said it was very informative in a different way. It was. Oh, not frozen there? Okay, cool. Excellent. I'll keep going then. It must have just been something on my end. It's all cool. It's all good. Thank you for letting me know. Now, the other thing I wanted to say before I forget, today is the first Thursday of the month. First Thursday of the month means Caffeinated Crafters. So if you are local here, we meet up at the IKEA at Logan. Just to, bring your craft. Some of us have tea, some of us don't have tea. And we just hang around and chat for as long or as short as you want to. If you just, pop in and say hi because you want to go shopping, then that's awesome. But that is on today. So first and third Thursdays of the month. It's not fortnightly. It's just the first and third Thursdays. Sally said, yeah, you froze for me for a second, but yeah, and that was what I saw. It was just a little second. But anyway, so at least I'm not going totally insane. So that's something. So yeah, Caffeinated Crafters is happening. Kathy, the stream tomorrow is at 10, but it will also be changing depending on what time my guests can join me. So, but tomorrow it is at 10. I've got to put out a thumbnail for that one. I needed to just double check with my guests that they were still available because they had some stuff happening and I just wanted to double check they were all right. But yes, so oh, I need beverage. What is in your cups today, everybody? I have just water. I did not have time. I made some fresh cold brew this morning, but it's obviously not ready to drink until tomorrow. But yeah, what have you got? Water boring. I need to live vicariously. It sounds like a Freaky has got turmeric tea going on. Hello, Holly. How are you going? Lots of, Kathy's got water as well. Chintamani's got coffee. John has got coffee milk. Nice. Artog has got coffee. I'm regretting not grabbing a coffee. I only had one coffee this morning. I normally have 2 in the morning and then 1 later, but I only had 1 this morning. I think I had 1 this morning because I think my brain counted the fact that I made the cold brew as I've had extra coffee. So I don't think that counts. It doesn't count, right? One of those lights is flashing. Like literally one. It's so weird. I'll have to check that. I don't know why one single bulb is flashing. Latte for Lisa. Coffee with caramel and vanilla essence. That sounds very nice. Sally says her cup is empty. I drank my matcha an hour ago. That's sad. Chintamani's not going to make it tonight. That is totally cool. As I said, life happens. My mug is empty. I'm boiling the kettle for more coffee now. Okay. No coffee for Kathy because it's bedtime. Fair enough. Holly says, I'm about to have a beer with my dinner. That sounds cool too. Carver tea for Diane. Really? So just so that I know we're thinking about the same thing, there's a Fijian drink called Carver. Is it different than the Fijian Carver? Lisby is getting closer to be able to come to Caffeinated Crafters. Oh, Lisby, my fingers are crossed so hard I'm getting cramps. Gosh. All right, so you guys will tell me what's in your cups. That's exciting. Now, what's on your craft? Because I've actually had to go and dig out the new yellow. Let's see if this camera works. Fast setup. Don't know if it worked properly. It's a bit dull, but I'm not going to mess around with it. So we're joining on the new yellow. I haven't crafted since our last live stream. I have been moving furniture and packing boxes and deciding which of my craft gets to stay and which has to go. That's where I've been. It's been an interesting time to say the least. Just it's actually been sad, to be honest, trying to, like, I have to get rid of some of my craft stuff and I don't like getting rid of my craft stuff. Do you guys, like, who here has a stash versus just buying for the project that you're working on now? Oh, John, he gave his bee to his cousin today and she was gushing. I don't blame her. Your bee was gorgeous. Lisby, that is not odd. That is awesome. You are getting your freedom back. Like the freedom to do things when you want. Okay, one more. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Lots of stash. So I realized that I have a lot more fiber than I thought I had. And while I'm keeping a lot of my yarn stash at home, a lot of my fiber stash is going into our storage unit. And I put in, like, I did a big, massive sale. I thought I sold heaps in my stash. And 3 100-liter crates, as well as 4 50-liter crates of fiber went into storage. Now, at some stage, I will be having to get a bit more ruthless with those and weed them down, but I couldn't do that. Not this time, not yet. Just because, like, I've been having to make other decisions with big things, like what furniture can fit, what furniture can't fit. So yeah, it just trying to decide that meant that I could not physically get rid of any of my good fiber. Like, you know, like I'm finding like bits of dross, and every now and again I'm like, you know what? I'm not happy with this, or for whatever reason, or it's not my taste anymore, or something happened to it and I don't like it. Then it was, you know, like it's definitely one of those things where it's like, that can go. I'm okay with that. But there's things that I'm not doing anymore, or or like, how do I describe this? There's only so many hours in a day, and while I love spinning and I love weaving and I love doing all the things, I can only fit so much craft in. So some of these things have been backburnered, but I don't want to get rid of my spinning wheels and I don't want to get rid of my weaving looms. So I'm like, right, okay. I can have the tools, but I can't have all the stash. So I've had to decide. But anyway, Holly's asking a question. Why are you moving? So Holly, I'm going to, I've had to make some big decisions, and I need to condense. So we're staying in the same house. We're not moving house, but the shack is in the front yard and the shack is going back. So I'm making sure that everything from the shack can fit in the house. So I'm a bit sad, but it's also like, it's one of those things. It's like disappointing, but at the same time, it's a good thing that's making me sad, but that's actually a good thing. And I keep going through all the emotions. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Things happen and I cannot have everything that I want. So, like life. John says, and this is probably a good question for everybody. If I bought yarn for like 6 projects, so you know exactly what the yarn's being used for, things like those amma kits and stuff like that, does that count as stash, or is stash just yarn without projects? So that's a good question. Is it stash if it was bought for a specific purpose, and knowing John here will make those specific things? And is stash just yarn that you buy and put away? So Lisby, yes, I'm in the same boat. I've got stash for yarn, fluff, sewing. I don't really count my baking stuff as stash. It's just the kitchen. Although, actually, do you know what? I'm never calling my baking stuff stash. I can't. I have so much baking stuff and jam making stuff. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like I've got 200-liter crates of fabric, and then a 50-liter crate of projects that I'm currently working on. That doesn't include my sewing machine. So yeah, I don't want to think about that. I have a lot of craft, guys. I love craft. I have a lot of craft. My craft room was overflowing is the other problem. So this is not all moving into an empty space. I'm having to clear that space and then clear spaces in my already very crampy house to move things out of the craft room to fit into, like, we now have an extra bookshelf in the dining room. I don't know if that's going to stay there or not. It seems to sort of not be in the way. So we'll see. Chintami says, I think that stash is stuff that you don't have a purpose for. Yeah. And absolutely, I agree with this. And this is why I'm making the decisions. Stash is easier and cheaper to replace than equipment. So when I bought my spinning wheel, my Suzy Pro, it was around $1,000. It was around that $1,000 mark. And it was, I think I paid an extra $200 for the custom color. So it was around, I think the $1,000 included the custom. I can't remember exactly, but this was like 5 years ago. Now, Marjorie Craft has slowly been putting their prices up like they have to do because of costs and, stuff, freight, and all the things. Costs go up. I think that I could sell this as is right now for easily $1,000, right? Because to buy a new one is about $1,600, and that's not custom color. That's just the green wheel. So it's like, okay, my drum carder, which I haven't used in a really long time, like when I packed it into the crate, its little drive band broke. So I have to get a new drive band for that. But my drum carder, same deal. I bought it like 8 years ago, spent about $400 or $500 on. I checked on their website. A new one of the exact same model is like $1,000. So it's like, right, all the tools are staying. I'm not getting rid of any of my tools except for things that I have duplicates of. So there's a couple of things that will be going. I've got like a Nancy's Knickknacks Heavy Duty Swift that I had gotten in to do a video review on before their business shut down. It's in its box. It's just a manual one. It's beautiful. You can't even buy them anymore. Like when I bought my Swift and Ball winder for me, Nancy's Knickknack staff and I were having a conversation. We were joking about how who am I leaving it to in my will? Because they're so solid, I'll never need new ones. And they're right, I'll never need a new one. But I've got this one here. I was like, I'm not going to ever need it. So it's in its box. It's never been built because I was going to build it all on camera, but they don't sell them anymore. So there's no point doing a review on it. So I've got that. I've got a hitchhiker wheel from the Merlin tree in its box. It was a return from a customer. They'd changed their mind for whatever reason, and it had already been shipped, so we got it shipped to me. So again, brand new in box, nothing wrong with it. And so yeah, so there's a couple of things that are here that are big and bulky and need new homes. So they'll get listed eventually. But yeah, right now I'm just working on clearing space. So luckily we do have a storage unit. It's just a little one, but all we had in it was like our Christmas stuff. It was like, we was like seriously considering getting rid of it because we're like, all we ever do is put Christmas stuff in it. So it was just like, okay. But now I'm like, no, I can fill this baby up. So I'm like, here you go, Tim, here is a load of crates. And I get him to like load it up and take, because I don't go down there. So I get him to load it up and take a photo and show me. So I'm like, right, I've got this much space. So I'm like, honey, put this one over here and put this one here. And, you know, so he does all that. So that's really cool. Francis, yeah, never sell the tools. I agree. Unless you've upgraded to something else and you no longer require that tool, never get rid of it. Oh, yeah, I like this. Most people keep their stash in their guest bedroom. I keep my guest bed in my stash room. Yes. It is awesome. It is awesome. Sue Singleton says, morning, everyone. It's so reassuring to hear everyone's stash stories. My stash and craft equipment is overwhelming. On top of stash, I have a compulsion to save half-done items from op shops as well. Oh my goodness. That would I'm really glad that I like those ones and I look at them and I think, oh, someone needs to finish that. But I'm like, no, it can't be me because I haven't finished the ones I started. Game Widow says, I'm very tempted by the wheel. I just need my family to move out of the house. Yes. It's like, there's a meme that says, you know, I finally fit all of my stash into my craft box. And then it says, my husband keeps saying, stop calling our house a craft box. Yeah, Freaky says I'm freezing up as well. I'm not quite sure what's happening, to be honest. It's a bit glitchy. So we're just going to have to run with it, guys. I can't really do anything about it now that we've started. We are a little glitchy. It's not too bad. I did see some grey clouds as I was coming in and a cool change came through, but I don't know if there's any storms due. Actually, did I read somewhere that we have a cyclone about to hit in the next couple of days? Like, seriously, weather, have we not had enough? We flooded. We got our year's worth of rain in 2 days. Then a month later, we got another quarter of a year's worth of rain in a week. You know, like, thanks, we've had enough for now. Freaky says, I'm going to try making a walking wheel that comes apart when not in use. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. But yeah, so there's lots going on. And my brain is not really in like creative mode, which is, you know, orcs. It's just, I'm just going to check my settings here. See if I don't know if I can change anything, but I will see. Okay. And okay. All right. I don't know if that'll make a difference or not, but we'll see. Bye, John. Have an awesome night. So Francis, oops, hang on. Francis, let me click on that. Thank you. Says we've had constant rain for the last day. It's still raining 150 mils so far. Sally says, my brain hasn't been in creative mode for quite some time. Yeah. Look, how I usually get out of my slumps, because I do hit them, I usually would go in and crochet face washes. That's my usual way to get out of crafting slumps. But I don't really even feel up to that right now. So I'm gonna try something here. Pop out the chat and then close that. All right, because I don't technically need that live stream window opening, so it might be pushing my computer too hard. So we'll see. I can't see what's happening on YouTube now at all, but we'll see if that makes a difference because my computer was being pushed very hard. All right. Artsog has said 35 people watching and only 23 likes. Something is amiss, people. Yeah, it is. Holly says, I haven't been glitchy for you. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, Knitspin Girls is in Lismore, and she says, my entire town is a bit PTSD about rain right now. For me, we've realized that when we hear the toilet do that gurgly noise, we've been a little bit like it for a while now, but we really noticed it the last time, like after the big sewer river that was our yard. We realized that after that, when that second little batch of rain came after it, we heard it again, and we all just went white and just ran for towels. So yeah, so we're thinking, okay, this is a bit much. Francis said, I went and did a class on the weekend, Sowry weaving techniques on a rigid heddle. Sorry. The other thing is, when I'm super stressed, my stutter kicks back in and I have to really slow down and think about my words. So I saw the photos of that in the fun zone, and that looked amazing, Francis, I have to say. So Rebecca says, what did I miss? I don't know what you missed, Rebecca. We've only been running for about half an hour. Sally says, I know the reason for my slump, so hopefully when that's sorted, I will be back. I hope so too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop. This is on a different internet connection. I don't like not being able to see the stream. It's stressing me out because I've dropped the stream off my second screen. So let's just make sure it's muted. I don't need the audio. I just need to be able to see the picture. Excellent. Done. Good. I feel better. Francis says it was so much fun. I love doing a class. One thing I've really missed this year is going away on the sewing retreats and things like that I was doing last year. I really love doing those, but I just haven't been able to do them this year. So hopefully next year I can get back into stuff again. We'll see. We'll see. Kelly says, how is the blinglets gluing traveling? I have not retried because I have had to start packing everything up to move it. So everything's packed up and not been, how to say, I was very disappointed with it. I did throw away that tube of glue because I did grab a glue that was already open. I should probably have grabbed a fresh glue considering I hadn't done any for a while. So yes, we will see if that makes a difference. Sue Singleton says, I turn to learning anything new when I get into a slump, even just a new crochet stitch. Yeah, so Sue, when I make face washes, I try to make them with a new stitch. So all my face washes are in a few different colors, but they all look different because I make them in different stitches. It's the same. It's so good. You can just focus on learning the new thing, and it really helps and makes a big difference. At least in my brain. I know it doesn't work that way for everybody, but it definitely works that way for me. So, yeah. No, it is definitely. Let's see if we can jump back onto this too. What did I do with the hook? Oh, there it is. It's all good. It's all good. So we have moved back to the first yellow here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just checking out the pattern here. It's a pretty easy pattern, so I should be able to read the chat pretty easily. I've realized that I have to be very careful. The thing that holds the camera and one of the lights up was not screwed up tight enough. So it's a little jiggly. So I'm really going to try not to wobble the table. That's a bit scary. But yes, we'll have to give that a tighten, I think. So I had to pull out the center of this ball because I do prefer just double checking I didn't screw that up. I do prefer working out of the center of the ball, and look how much yarn bath came out. And it's and into the ball is 4 strands. So there's going to be more yarn bath coming. I just thought I won't pull any more out. We'll see how close to a row we get of this yarn bath. So yes. I was expecting my name to come up after. Have to be very careful. Did I miss? I probably missed something. Oh, Rebecca said that she was busy looking up spindles that she can spin lace and gossamer weight yarn on. Oh, that sounds exciting. Did you find some is my question. Is there one winging its way to you as we speak? I realized I have a few spindles. As I'm packing up these different craft areas, turns out I had spindle stashes in all of them. I should probably not buy spindles for a little while. Now, part of that, to defend myself, there are 20 Margicraft spindles in the box that are for teaching. They're not technically mine. I have my own Margicraft spindle, 2 of them. But yeah, technically they're my teaching pile, but they are all together in one box because I'm putting all the spindles together. Freaky says, can't you spin fine on any spindle? No, is the answer. So if you are spindling on support spindles, you can spin fine on just about all of those. But when it comes to drop spindles, the actual yarn has to be able to hold the weight of the spindle swinging in the air. So if you've got a heavy spindle, you need to make a thicker weight yarn that doesn't require as much twist to actually deal with that. So yeah, it's definitely when you're spinning when you are drop spindling, you need to make sure that you have all of the weight will work that way. If you've got quite a heavy one, anything over about 40 grams, about 40 grams, I think you have to start thinking about more like a 4-ply, 8-ply thickness rather than fine stuff. Sally says, what is Gossamer Weight? I've never heard of it. It is, think spider silk. It's so fine. It's so fine. Yeah. It's very, very fine. I don't know what the actual wraps per inch are for Gossamer Weight, but it is very, very fine. I struggle to spin on spindles. Doesn't seem to stop me from buying them. Oh my goodness. If shipping was not so costly, I'd send samples of my spinning. Some of it is thread thin. Well, you can put photos up on the Facebook group, right? I bought the Russian spindle. I bought one Russian spindle that's coming to me, but the ones I was looking at are used for the Orenburg shawls. Yeah. Awesome. Hang on a second. What have I seen here? Chintamani says, I adore Turkish spindles. Me too. I have a soft spot for Turkish spindles. I definitely prefer support spindles, but I do have a soft spot for Turkish spindles. We've got some news. We've got an update. I've finally got back to my Cosmic Cal and I've fixed the problem. I haven't crafted since the socks were finished. Well, I'm glad you got back into your Cosmic Cal and you got that sorted, because it's frustrating when you make a mistake and you're just not sure what the heck happened. And you've just got to go with it. Chintami says, I want to learn support spindles, but I keep trying to turn them into drop spindles. Yeah. I find that, like, because I'm exceptionally, lazy. We all know this. I like to use, if I hadn't just taken my big crate inside, I could show you. I've actually got this long thing. It's think of a goblet top with a really long goblet stem, and it actually slides down between your legs, so your little bowl is in your lap and doesn't slide off your leg. So I sit on the couch and put that there and just spin sitting on the couch. And so I can spin while watching Supernatural or whatever I want to watch on telly, and not have to worry about like arm going up and things like that, because I get tired and I've got very heavy arms. Yes, Freaky, I'm with you. Price and shipping stops me from buying. Yes. I had a tradition, which was whenever I went to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, I would always buy a new spindle and spindle bowl. That was my treat for myself while I was there. And I'd go over and I'd get a Lair of the Bearded Dragon spindle and spindle bowl, and they're so beautiful. And so I wasn't paying shipping, and they're Australian, so I was paying Australian dollars. And I just love them. So I've got lots and plenty. Support spindles look pretty, but I've never been able to get the hang of them. Drop spindles I can use. Okay. Well, we'll have to, once I get all settled and everything, I'll have to bring the support spindles back on again. We do have a beginner spindle video up on the channel here if you want to have a look at that and see if that helps. Apparently it's helped a few people. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we can always run through and do some more spindling. One of the things is, once I'm all set up, I do want to have a spinning day, because in all the tidying, I found the missing fluff to finish this project. So I'm pretty keen to get that going again. I need some water. Knitspin Girl says, I love the Bearded Dragon inlay spindles. So pretty. I've got heaps of their inlay spindles. So I'll be face calling you when I'm there this year. Oh, okay. I understand. When you're at Bendigo. Yes. They do live up to that name. That's one of the reasons why I don't drop spindle, is I'm very lazy. I don't like to pick things up off the ground. Yeah, so we can have some fun. We can try some things. We can see how, I'm not sure how that would work, but we could try it. We could definitely try it. I would like to at least, like, I mean, my goal is usually 2 rows. That's not going to happen today. A, stream is half the length. B, I'm, chatting. I'm chatting. So we'll see how it goes. But I'd like to finish 1 row. I'd like to get rid of some of this yarn bath. That would be pretty dang cool. And then I'll raise up this desk after the live stream and tighten some bolts. I'm a bit nervous. I'm trying not to lean on the table, because when I do, everything just wobbles a little bit. Oh, where are we? Hello, NYC Prince. I haven't seen you in for a while. I learned about YouTube during lockdown. By the way, there's a history of lace making in certain areas of the UK, including different styles. Absolutely. There's so many different ways to make lace. Francis says, I grabbed a bag of yarn from my stash to crochet today, but can't decide what to make. Too big a ball for beanie, would be a nice scarf, woven, but not. See, that's the thing. Our stash is like, I don't actually have what I need to make a thing, so I'm going to have to go and buy it. And my husband's always like, don't you have what you need? I'm like, apparently not. Apparently I don't. It does happen that way sometimes. Oh my goodness. Sally's popped up the link for the Fun Zone. So that is awesome. If you're not a member of the Fiberific Fun Zone, my question is, why not? It's free. Go over there, join, answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, you won't be let in. They're very difficult. along the lines of, do you like yarn? Very hard. They're very hard. Rebecca says the set that I'm looking at, one is for spinning and the other's for plying. Okay, you can't spin and ply on the same one? I'm curious. I was going to buy yarn twice this week. This is from Freaky. Hang on. I was going to buy yarn twice this week, but dang, if they do not have the exact color shade, I'm after it at 2 stores. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah. So frustrating. But yeah, just trying to get a row done. I did turn the aircon off in here just to see how I cope. This is a 1-hour stream, so the new room has no air conditioning. I'm going to have to work out something because I don't think I'll be able to cope with 0. It doesn't even have a ceiling fan. So we'll have to sort something out because I will melt and become a puddle. It'll be puddle. Oh, okay. Chintamani says that the plying spindles tend to be bigger, like a jumbo bobbins. Okay. Yeah, that's true, Freaky. Depends on how much you spin. If you spin too much for your turtle, then you need a bigger spindle for the plying. All right, that makes sense. You guys are full of the making of sense. You are. Basically, it's just a name for a larger spindle. Let's call it a plying spindle. Gives another excuse to get one. I don't need that much of an excuse. Are you right there, Louis? He's just groaning. So I think he's bored. It'll be a different setup for him in the new space. No couch for him to sit on. I'm going to see if I can bring a chair in at least, because I don't like to stay sitting in office chairs all day. Even though I don't live stream all day, this is my workspace as well. So I do. This is not very clear. Oh, okay. So Rebecca, so yeah, short for spinning, but yeah, it's because with a spindle you loaded up the shaft. So if you've got a short shaft, you can only load so much onto it, whereas if you've got the longer shaft, you can load more onto it. So same sort of deal, but yeah. Oh, Freaky forgot he was making tea. I'd love a cup of tea. Thanks, Freaky. 1, 2, 3, and then back into here. Yeah, I prefer the short spindles because of how I've got it, it's how I sit when I'm spindle spinning. I do prefer a shorter spindle. The long ones you can definitely fit more onto though. So it's kind of like, do I really want to just have to keep replacing it? So yes. So this desk will, my goal is to try and make it look very similar. Okay. So it'll be like spot the differences. But there'll be like more audio protection. Like at the moment we get a lot of noise from the neighbors and from the road, which is just there, so we'll be excuse me, much further back from the road. And so I'm putting up more of the noise blankets. So at the moment we just have the 2 that are just next to me here that I open up like big curtains when I'm not streaming or making a video. So in the new room, we'll be having them across. So not behind, because we have the pretties behind, but just out of camera shot and across and around and then across in front of me and then down to sort of, again, just in camera shot. So I'll be trying to dampen off as much as I can, because the other problem is it's in the house and I do share a wall with Abby and I do live stream late on a Saturday night on another channel. I'm a guest on Doug Hewson's channel once a month. And so we stream quite late and so she'll be in bed. So yeah, I'm trying to make everything work. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, I have some camel fiber coming to me as well. Ooh, nice. You're going to love it. It's the soft down that's under the rougher camel fur, camel hair as such. And yeah, the soft downy fiber, beautiful for spindle spinning and just glorious to touch. Honestly, so beautiful to spin camel. And it's so weird because I'm allergic to alpaca and they're a camelid, and I have no problems with camel. It's and I've played with llama yarn and didn't have a problem with the llama yarn. So far, it's just been alpaca. It's so weird. It's not the whole family, which just to me doesn't seem right. But anyway, I'm not going to complain. At least I get some. Rebecca says, I cannot find the fang spindles. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why not. They should be around. Miss Bin Girls here saying that bearded dragon makes fangs, but Rebecca's not in Australia, so the cost to ship internationally would be quite prohibitive. I'm just trying to think if any of the US spindle makers make fangs. I'm sure there would be. I just can't think of any of the. I know Scott doesn't. I don't know. There'd have to be something, I think. But maybe it's out of season again, like out of fashion, if that makes sense. The phases of different things are popular, so they do and don't make things. Frances says, I was given some cashmere last year, going to take to Mum's and blend it with some merino as she's got a drum carder. Make sure that she's got an extra fine drum carder, otherwise it'll just get very neppy, and only run it through the machine once. So blend it out yourself very carefully and gently. If you run it through multiple times, it's the same with the merino as well. It'll just get neppy and it'll be gross. Oh, there we go. Sally's popped in one of my links for Lair of the Bearded Dragon. Yeah, better to bite with. That's a good answer, Leanne. I don't know why this isn't center. I need more water. It's a bit warm in here. And I'm talking. I'll take that answer. It's a good one. Yeah, fangs are just another shape description of spindles. They're a little squatter. They're a bit like a Russian, but more bulbous, if that makes any sense. Like a Russian spindle. I should clarify that. I just have to top up my water glass. Back to dealing with this yarn bath. There we go. Back into the pattern again. Just working out where I'm at. Oh, goodness me. So next week, if all goes to plan, live stream will be in the new space. Fingers crossed that all goes to plan. I've got a bit of work to do in there before I can start bringing everything in. As in, I want to sound treat that room because it's very echoey. It's the perfect shape to echo, like a lot. Like even yesterday, Louis barked in there and it was ear splitting. Yeah, Freaky's got some advice there for the cashmere as well. Yes, cashmere is beautiful to spin with as well. Again, another really short staple fiber. Beautiful for spindle spinning with. Lots of fun spinning fun. I mean, I think it would. We could use Louis's tummy. And I don't know if he'd like to sit there like that for an entire thing. Linda, have an awesome day. And we'll see you next time. Oh, it's getting very, very, very stuffy in here. I'm tempted to pop the air conditioner back on, but I don't really need to. And it'll be very loud. And I didn't set the microphone up to deal with the air conditioner today. Like an idiot. Watching tutorials helps even if I don't blend. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's always good to have a little look at different ways that people do things. Just remember that when you're using a drum carder, the different fibers make a difference. So if they're using like coarse wool and you want to use merino, you need to allow for the differences in your fiber. Sally is letting me know on the timer. Thank you, Sally. I'll probably go for 5. I want to go till I finish this row. So we've still got a bit of time left. Probably just over 5 minutes. I did start a little bit late because the camera was being wiggy. So, yes. It is definitely going to be fun. Leanne says we have some cloud cover going on right now, so it's a bit stuffy. It is a bit stuffy. It's not going to be 2 more hours freaky. I'm not that slow at crochet. Actually, that's a really great piece of advice that Chintamani has given there to Rebecca. If you can find an Etsy store or whoever it is that has had them previously and ask if they could make one for you. So, yeah. I have a cat trying to sneak into my lap when I already have a computer in my lap. What is it with cats and laptops? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Cats are funny. Our Mr. Tibble's cat has gone from about a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks of sleeping in this exact spot in the linen cabinet to the point where if we moved out the towel that he'd been laying on and threw it in the wash and then put the other towels away, we would come home and he would have somehow gotten the cupboard open, no idea how, flicked up a pile of the towels and then got back to sort of the similar level that it was at. My Sea Prince says, regarding soundproofing, if noise from outside, put things on or by leaning against the outside wall, it breaks the sound. Yeah, so I'm not going to be soundproofing. I'm just going to be sound treating. So I will just be putting soft, like, I don't have sound blankets, but I have moving blankets, which are like a poor man's sound blanket. And I'll be putting sound blankets on the internal walls just to stop the echoing. So there's a big difference between soundproofing and sound treating. So I won't be soundproofing. Yeah. But that's a good way to do it if you can. The laptop is warm. Yeah. But yeah, we do know what your cat's like. During Zoom meetings, he's just like, hello world, and he's just like right there. It's so funny. Yeah, carpet on the floor, absolutely. And if you don't have carpet, throw down a doona. Fill in corners, like I've got a corner here that I've never actually gotten around to filling in, but that was going to be the next job, was I was going to pull out the table and fill this corner with soft things so that the sound didn't bounce as much. But yeah, you just got to get rid of all the hard surfaces. So tables, which is hard when I live stream on a table, but do the best you can. Tables and floors and walls and windows are terrible for it. And yeah, just put something soft in front of them all. So yeah, even just like take the cushions off the couch and put them on the table if it says a dining table or something in front of you. So yeah, there's lots of options for sound treating, but there is a difference between sound treating and soundproofing. Because even if you've soundproofed a room, you may still need to sound treat it as well. So soundproofing stops the noise from going outside of the room or outside noise from coming into the room, but it doesn't stop the echo bounce. So yeah, kind of got it. There's two different things that need to be done, but I'm only going to be sound treating, not soundproofing. I think I already have everything I need here to sound treat. I may need to go and buy one more sound blanket, and I add in like grommets and bungee cord, and then just stick it to the wall with command hooks. So yeah, there are ways. There are ways to do things. Even if you don't have a massive budget, doonas, spare doonas thrown over a curtain rod will do the job. I'm not moving, Rebecca, but I'm moving out of the office, like out of this office it's a demountable building that's in my front yard. It's going back to the supply because I rent it. I don't own it. And we're moving into the house. So yeah. Where are we? I've missed something in the chat. Hang on. Oh yeah, just side convo. I missed side convo. So yes, so we're going to be rebuilding as much of this set as possible just in my craft room. So my craft room, I have to stop calling it my craft room and start calling it the studio or some such to get it straight in my mind. Yeah. So yeah. This yarn buff is pretty bad, honestly. Like we're still going. We're still going on the yarn bath here. Yeah, NYC Princess stops the wall acting like a drum. Absolutely. So, I mean, and like there's ways around it. If you don't want to sound treat your room, the other option is to have a microphone that you bring right in next to your mouth, so it's picking up the audio straight away and it's not bouncing around as much. Like if you get like a pod mic or a Shure SM7B or something like that, it's a different type of mic and it only picks up the sound that's really close to it. So yeah, but I don't like that look. I like a clear space. So yeah. Let me look here. I would have recaked that yarn to get rid of the yarn buff. I'm just going to work through it. Freaky. If I didn't think I would use the whole ball, absolutely. But I'm going to use just about this entire ball for this section. So yeah, I will just work through it. Hopefully, once I get past this yucky bit, the rest of it will be good. That's my goal. Artog, if you blast heavy metal as loud as possible, that will also stop you hearing the outside sounds. That is also true. That is also true. I don't know how you go with copyright. Oh my goodness. You guys are hilarious. I mean, you're right, Freaky. There may be more yarn buff inside the ball. And like, look at this. I think it's peeking out. I think there is more yarn buff inside the ball. Something has happened to my sound. Really? You guys will have to let me know. I don't know. Everything on my end says it's still working. Oh, I've gone. Oh, maybe I might have pushed it out of the way a little when I bumped it. One more. Sound is good there. Okay, cool. Maybe the cat stood on the keyboard and reduced your volume. That could be a thing as well. Knitting a cone for the mic makes it directional. I mean, that could, yep, that could do it. That could do it. Oh, hang on. I'm doing the wrong stitches. We are nearly at the end, you guys. Look at this. Just this little bit left to go. We've done it. We're going to do a row. A row is going to happen even in our short stream today. So exciting. So what have you all got planned for the next few days? I'm already thinking about the weekend. So, what have you guys got planned for the weekend? Let me know. Sally said, I think it might be my headphones. Okay. I was in a live stream and the other person's audio was insanely loud. And it took me longer than I care to admit for me to realize it was my headphones that the volume was up so loud on, and I could just legit turn it down. Oh my goodness. It's just like, right. Yeah, ignore me. It's all good. They thought, I'm like, I think there's a problem. Like, I can hear you fine. And I'm like, I feel like I'm whispering because I don't want to yell. Oh, goodness. Can't win. Alrighty. Is this I know this might be the second last repeat before the end. Let's have a look here. Yeah, one more. And I'll just bring that over so I know what I'm doing. So I've been watching CSI, the original from way back in the day, like CSI Las Vegas, like back at the very start again. And it's kind of funny because things that I thought I knew about the show, and I was like, hang on a second, I didn't know that. Hang on a second, I didn't know that. So, and then I'm like, there's whole episodes I've never seen before. So I'm like, sweet as. Because I used to watch it on TV years ago. Freaky, you've jinxed me, haven't you? Like, there's more, like, I have to pull more yarn buff out of the ball to be able to get to this. I blame you, Freaky. Look at that. Disappointed. So disappointed. Oh my goodness. Plan for the week is to finish the current project and roll the dice to figure out which project is next. We'll need many dice. You could use like a Google. You could assign all the projects a number and use a Google random number generator. Sally says I have NCIS. NC. I don't know which one that is. Rebecca's busy working and ordering spindles and knitting. What have I missed? I missed one. Hang on. No, I don't know. But yeah, just lots and lots and lots of. So I won't be doing any craft this weekend. I will be continue the furniture moving and trying to get to the point where I can start building the set in the new room. So we will see how it goes. All right, let me look here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and then 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, it does rather. It does. Although we're down to a single strand into the ball, so that's always a good sign. So, yeah. And then when I cut off this row, it'll be easier to untangle what's left. I know who your mum's talking about there, Chintamani. I can't think of his name. My brain won't give it to me. I'm picturing him. I can't think of it. Anyway, actually, have I come up to the crossover? I think I've done the crossover episode for CSI Miami. I think it's done. I don't think I've done the crossover for CSI New York yet, though. David Caruso, thank you. How did Abby's birthday go? She loved her gifts. Then she had, then she went out with her friends, and she actually had a bad day out with her friends, and then came home with a really, really not a good attitude, and that was, then she went to bed. Bob Curran says, I'm going to the Big Smoke to get my reading glasses as mine broke. I desperately have to go to the optometrist because Louis has chewed my driving glasses and my sunglasses. So yeah, sunglasses are totally unusable, and my other distance glasses, which I can use for driving as well, they're all chewed up down the side. So I kind of got to put them on like this, like I can't just slide them past my ear because they don't slide. There is now grippy tooth chews. Yeah, so I've really got to go as well. No, I think you spelled Horatio right. Horatio is with a T, not an S. So yeah. Bob says it's 750 Ks. Oh, mad skills. Yeah, totally bad. Oh my goodness. Well, I have made it to the end of the row, you guys. Turns out I don't have a pair of scissors here. They must be over there. I'm so glad you could all jump in and join me, even though I had to do a shorter stream today. Next week's stream will also be a little bit weird. Again, Mum's taxi. Abby's got another shift. I think I can start at the normal time, but I have to end it a bit earlier so that I can take her to work. And I think she has to be there by 12, which is like a half an hour trip. So I think we can get nearly a whole stream. But I will double check, and I will pop it over in the fun zone, and I'll pop it into a card, into like a community post here on YouTube as well. So keep an eye out. And then that one should be in the new studio as well. So that's exciting. We can work out if the sound treatment works. But yeah, I am going to go off now and have a bit of lunch and take Louis inside. And I will see you all next week and in the fun zone. So don't forget to post pics of what you're working on. I love looking at all the things that you're working on. So it will be so much awesome. Knitspin Girls here says, hang on, that's not Knitspin Girls. So glad my internet is working. I've really missed these live streams. I'm glad you're back as well. Carly says, so glad to catch you live. Have a great week. Everyone have an awesome week, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.